Welcome to the middle of nowhere in Leitrim. I am not too far from Slieve and Iarainn and that kind of general area, and there are a couple of different looped walks here that I think were developed quite some time ago. So I wish to get out for a couple of hours, so that's what we're gonna go do. I think it's about 10k loop, so I'll end up back here at the car, and yeah, should be some roads like this, like quiet little roads, some forestry, maybe a little bit along a river. We'll wait and see. Yeah, okay. So this looped walk is known as the Tullylachen Loop, I think, or just as the blue loop, as the arrows that we are following are blue. Leitrim is a really interesting place. Like, it's not particularly tall or mountainous, but the tiny bit of climbing I've done so far, like, I've got surprisingly good views. There's a lot of like deep river valleys, or at least that kind of feel. So you may have noticed that the way markers for this trail have the little yellow walking man that Carl and I have called Elvis for the past like 6 years. And that way marker nowadays is only used for national waymarked trails. Trails that are of a certain accreditation and distance. They're kind of Ireland's long distance walking trails, basically. But they're on these little looped walks out here, which basically is just because these trails are actually very, like, quite old in like an Irish context. And there was a time when these way markers were developed, and they were to be used for like national trails, but that was a very loose term and kind of anyone could create one. So sometimes you see Elvis way marking trails that aren't explicitly national waymark trails, but here they have, I think they called them red and blue, but it's much more like a pastel pink and purple arrows delineating the routes. So I'm doing the blue/purple one at the moment, and it has been so quiet. Like, I haven't heard anybody, haven't seen anything. It's been beautiful. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Just after I talked about the way markers, I've come to my Junction turnaround point. I think this is more or less the furthest north I'm going to go, and I'm now going to loop back down the other side. I'm following this one that looks the bluest anyway. I think it should be the right one. There are two other hikes here, and then actually up behind me, I'm going to show you in a second, there's a sign that says the Slieve and Iarainn Way, which I'm also going to have to suss out. Is that one of these ones? Which one it is, how long it is, and yeah, I'll be back, I guess. I think I was a bit too quick to assume a minute ago. I think this here is actually my trail junction. So I'm only actually hit the halfway point now, which is later than I expected. And I've also walked a bit further than I expected. But if this is the halfway point, at least I am turning around now, because I have just been walking not quite due north, but away from where I started for 2 hours. So it would be nice to walk back in the right direction for a little bit. I'm not too worried. I've still got at least 2 hours of daylight. So worst case, I turn around and retrace my steps. But no, I think it's going to be okay. Still incredibly quiet, just me and the trees. So not so bad. Yellow River is crossed. We are on the way home. So the Tullylachen Loop ended up being a really, really lovely evening. In the end, I did about 12.75 kilometres. However, it's always important to note that when myself or Carl and I are filming stuff, we have to walk back and forth to pick up the camera. So I don't know how much of that to detract for having left the camera behind. So maybe we say it was 11 to 12k. A very straightforward loop. Admittedly, I thought that the junction that I would hit at the most northerly point was going to be kind of halfway through the route. It was definitely more 2/3 going up the right side of the river and then 1/3 of the trail, like distance-wise, coming down the other side. So the return journey after I made that bend was a lot faster than I had been going up to it. The forestry, like logging roads, tracks that I was walking on are all very old, so none of the hardcore is big and uncomfortable. Lots of grassy, easy walking. So yeah, I thought it was a really nice loop, a really nice wander for a couple of hours. I think it took me 3.5 all in all, including extra filming time and stopping and having a snack. The advertised recommended time of 3 hours, or 3 hours to 3.5 is fairly accurate for the maybe 12k that it comes out to. So yeah, you can find out about the Tullylachen Loop on the Leitrim Trails website, and we'll have stuff about it up on Tough Souls as well at some point soon. In every video, I always want to say a huge thank you to everyone who supports on Patreon. It really means the world to us. We couldn't do it without you guys. And yeah, I'm at the foot of Knocknaray now. But that's the next exciting episode. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. So this has come off road way faster than I expected. So as long as I haven't taken a wrong turn, this is really nice. It's also a super muggy evening. I am sweating already. The eternal question: is this just a teeny bit of drizzle, or is it actual rain? I'm banking on. Well, my heart wants it to be drizzle. My head is saying it's moving closer to rain.